Now, I had just mentioned the staged viral outbreak that is being labeled by some as the swine flu. Well, it's quite evident this came from different continents, different elements, and it's man-made. This is a man-made disaster in the making. And you've been at level 6 since unofficially, probably after it was announced in April, but formally in May. There's more than one set of books with the feds. I've seen at least 3 different sets and versions of what layers, the one you see, the one you call the shadow government, and one, the operations that you only see the effects of, and you'll see them if we go into martial law. The 3rd and 4th one books are what they actually operate by behind the scenes. Plausible deniability. Plausible deniability allows these bastards to deny, distract you, or accuse you something's wrong with you. You're a conspiracy theorist. They'll call you anything they want to, but it's very difficult penetrating past that 1st and 2nd layer. But get back on the flu virus. I think the flu is bullshit. I believe at this point it's less than 3,000 deaths worldwide. However, you're at a pandemic stage. And this vaccine push worldwide, especially in the United States, of a live vaccine, they're pushing dangerous and toxic vaccines. They will be pushing it on their time frame. They're not sticking my ass with the live vaccine. I'm not going off to an internment center, a detention camp, and I'm not letting them put a microchip anywhere in my body. Period. I was born under a republic, under the Constitution, and I'm not going to agree and comply with socialism, fascism, communists, or whatever they're doing. I'm not a United Nations person. I never did care for the UN and their second hidden agenda. We're under the dominion of these treaties now, where all as Obama has to do is declare the national emergency and authorize in the United Nations. We are on paper anyway, not under constitutional law, but under these corrupt son of a bitches, under their authority. And they can put UN troops on American soil. And I'll speak more about this later. I'm just touching the bases on this. But how are you going to spend your remaining time? I hope you continue to hear, see, and sort for yourself, critical thinking for yourself. Try to find news sources outside of the internet and YouTube. Try to find credible sources. Don't depend on anybody to tell you what's happening. Nobody should be telling you what you have to do for your family in a response plans. Not everybody, it's not going to be safe for everybody to remain in a fixed location. Some of you will have to relocate for safety purposes, and that's your call. I'm not going to tell you to stay or leave. But don't judge my ass because I'm staying here and built a garrison system. I'm qualified to operate a garrison system. And I will, defensive or offensive. I will be I'll have a flex unit and respond to all threats at that point. And that's my decision. Some of you, I do reiterate, need to give a lot of thought to your plans, your response plans. Remain fixed or relocate. I don't use that slang word bug out. Relocate, realign, reposition, fall back, or get the hell out of there. I don't have to run off to the hills. I'm in the rolling hills. I put myself here and my family because I knew there would be civil unrest. There was too much. Over 11 years ago, there was too much information in. They were planning for this. I didn't know what I am aware of now. There were things I didn't know about. Hell, I didn't know about the Bilderbergs. I didn't know about the Bohemian Grove. And I can go on and on. I saw things I can't speak about, and I won't. But it did not take the totality of what my awakening in fall of 2007 and what you've awakened to in the higher scope, in the realm of reality that was hidden from us and information. And my point with this is, your contingency plan, your tactical response plan to manage your family, your unit, when these critical incidents and major critical incidents occur, it will determine your success or failure. And that may be measured by you being a casualty, wounded, or captured. I've got to check my time here. Okay. I will speak more about that. Sometimes when my wife and I go for a ride to relax, I see two different worlds. I see what remains of this country, and then I see the hell and destruction that awaits it. But you can't allow either one of them to destroy you. And I need to point this out. I'm not living in fear. And I'm not going to live in rage. If you allow your emotions to control you, you're not in control. I refuse to live in fear. And yes, I can get pissed off, but what good is it going to do for me to throw a tirade and just go off the deep end? I'm not going to make good decisions if I just allow anger to guide me. And the same thing for fear. And I'm not attacking people that live in fear, but don't bring it around me. I don't want my thought process contaminated by emotions that can make people self-destruct, become irrational, or make wrong decisions. It's hard enough to be focused as you see the pre-incident period closing, or you're in hell and destruction and it escalates into death and destruction, to let the emotions run rampant. I developed years ago being thrown in these situations, and I had to make command decisions that affected thousands of people and civilians and collateral damage. Turn the emotions off. Focus and tune it out. Focus on the problem. Focus on the missions. Focus on the objectives and lead from the front. You can learn this, but if you don't have discipline, you're going to fall apart. We talked about that in the last series in June. I also suggest that you take time while you still have it to learn some survival skills, especially if you're going to relocate. We'll speak more about that. I've already stated I don't like casualties. Even for people I don't care or they don't care. Like me, I don't care to see Americans become casualties. I don't want to see you put in detention centers. I don't want to see you have toxic vaccines stuck in your ass. I don't want to see you unemployed. I don't want to see you put out of your homes. I don't want to see you lose your jobs. I'm not the type of man that's known as a touchy, feel-good person. I don't change diapers on adults. I'm too blunt, and that's not my temperament and personality. But I do care about the Americans, all 300 million. I don't want to see you dead, dying, or starving. I want to see this country rebuilt. I want to see the country with honest politicians. But at some point, that becomes ideology. And I'll be damned if that phone isn't ringing. Let me stop this video and turn that thing off.